The Hive has gotten an update with a new game called Block Party, and with this new game, I have to ask the question, what is the best and worst game on the Hive? For this video, I'll be giving you my insights and I'll be asking the opinions of other creators for their responses. There are two types of games on the Hive, PvP and non-PvP. Games like Sky Wars, Treasure Wars, and Capture the Flag are obviously PvP. On the other hand, Hide and Seek and Block Party are examples of non-PvP. Those two types are very different, and I'll tell you the best and worst of both types. I'll start with non-PvP. Spleef is fun, but it gets boring fast, and it's not even a real mode. 4 out of 10. Block Party is an awesome game that I haven't got bored of yet, and it's super fun with all its power-ups and effects. 8 out of 10. Block Drop is a similar story, but I get bored of it really fast for some reason, but it's still fun the first few games. 7 out of 10. Murder Mystery is an amazing game, but it gets boring so fast after you play Murderer for the first time. 6 out of 10. Just Build is a decent game if you like building, but I don't, so 3 out of 10. Hide and Seek is a great game and I love it a lot, but it gets boring if you play on your own and it's a little too easy to max out. 6 out of 10. Last but not least is Death Run. I love Death Run so much because it was the first game I ever played on the Hive and it's still enjoyable. The problem is I can't play it for more than 20 minutes at a time and it hasn't been updated in 6 months. 6 out of 10. If you can do simple math, then you can find out that Block Party is currently the best non-PvP mode and Just Build is the worst, but strangely it has a higher player count than all the others. And now for the most controversial part of this video, PvP. Capture the Flag is an awesome game I can play for hours at a time and not get bored. It has fast games at times, but there's always a lot of variability, at least for me. Unfortunately, the concept is pretty boring and there aren't many power-ups, so for that it gets a solid 7 out of 10. Nemo Slap is an honorable mention because it's technically PvP. The idea is fun, but let's be honest, whoever plays it for more than 2 minutes. 3 out of 10. Duels is another honorable mention because it's not actually an official mode, it's just a hub game. It's not really good for a duels mode and so many other servers do it better, so for that, 4 out of 10. Ground Wars is tricky because it's not really PvP, but at the same time it is. I think it's a fun game mode, but it gets boring fast because the maps are just too big. 5 out of 10. The Bridge is a good game mode and it was adapted really well by the Hive. The skill-based matchmaking is a really good feature and I like it a lot. Unfortunately, it gets boring too fast and I think it needs more kits. 7 out of 10. I don't even know if I should include survival games on this list because, well, it's just really bad. The games go on for way too long and the maps are huge, so it's really hard to find people if you don't have a tracker. Survival games need smaller maps or maps that shrink in size, or else it will remain one of the most hated game modes even after its update. 4 out of 10. Sky Wars is one of my favorite all-time modes. The variability in each game is super exciting and I rarely get bored of it. The game is a lot of fun and the ore feature is a great unique touch by the Hive. 8 out of 10. Skyward's kits is pretty much the same, except the kits part is not that great. I think there needs to be more kits, and I also don't think it deserves its own pedestal in the hub. 7 out of 10. Treasure Wars. I love it. I made an entire series on the game mode, and it holds a special place in my heart. Unfortunately, I have to be realistic and focus on the downsides. The game gets too boring and repetitive after 3 games, and the new features are great, but they aren't really special anymore. Treasure Wars is a great game, and I love it so much. 7 out of 10. This means that Sky Wars is the best game on the Hive right now, and of course, survival games is the worst. But now it's time to hear what creators have to say. Penguino puts up a good point. Custom games. CSs are a completely different topic and they are extremely customizable and allow you to create your own games. Watch this video on the top of the screen to see the 2 best custom games you can do. This is a list for the start of 2023 and this info can change. Hopefully this video helped you in some way and goodbye.